I'm going to ask you this because you are a culture warrior and a lot of people in the conservative and libertarian movement look up to you. This is one question I see asked a lot, and that is, can politics actually make a difference? Because there's a general feeling of hopelessness on the right, caused no doubt by a lack of conservative representation, even within the Liberal and National parties. So can the general public still affect change with their vote? Or do we have to look for pressure groups from the outside these days?
I think that we can still affect change. The answer is a little bit of everything, right? Because I think that politicians have become very remote from everyday people. And sometimes you need a wake-up call as a politician to realise that what happens within this so-called Canberra bubble is just not the reality. So the one thing I say to people, never, ever underestimate the power of eyeballing your MP, telling them what you want, and telling them also that if they don't deliver on what you want, if they're not going to follow through, make speeches in Parliament, try to represent your views in Parliament, that you're going to vote against them. And I'm going to tell you, it makes your chest a little bit tight as a member of Parliament, particularly if that person has told you they voted for you last time. It only takes so many of those people who are up there eyeballing their MP, telling them that, you know, if they don't support a particular issue or if they don't oppose a particular issue, that they're just going to go AWOL on them. It makes them flinch, I can tell you.
Well, let's go back and have a look, because in your early years, faith was also a big part of your life. Did you ever see yourself forming a career within the church instead of politics?
Yeah, I did actually. I entered a seminary when I was 21, only for a very brief period of time, and decided it wasn't for me. There are other factors at play there, but it's something that stuck with me for a long while. And actually, before I decided to nominate to become a member of Parliament, I had pretty much thought that I was going to go down a different track and become a minister within the Anglican Church, but Ministry of Lies rather than the Ministry of Truth. But there we go.
Do you ever wonder if the church might have given you more opportunities to change the world rather than politics? Because some people, there are some British commentators who are using the church to spread the conservative word rather than the political option.
Yeah, and Reverend Calvin Robinson, who's a deacon in the church, in the Free Church of England, is a great example of that. I think, yes, it's horses for courses, though. I mean, in parliamentary politics, from my experience, all that I've seen, Alexandra, what the good you can do there is being the bulwark, is being, like the boy with the proverbial finger in the damn wall, stopping all of the madness and badness from coming in and flooding your nation and society. That is the job that people such as Senator Alexandra, Senator Gerard Rennick, Senator Matt Canavan, and so many others that are in the pulpits that priests, ministers and preachers can do, is about changing hearts and minds. And I think that is equally, if not more important, because the only way we're going to change our politics, right, is changing the culture. And you can't change culture via the ballot box. You can't change culture via legislation or regulation. You can only change it by hearts and minds. And that's what good preachers do best. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of bad ones that are out there that are just reflecting the times within their own church. They become like ritualized or templed preachers or pastors of the zeitgeist, and it's completely and utterly wrong. What we need is more preachers and pastors that are actually promoting the gospel. And if we have the gospel, then we're going to be for family, we're going to be for life, we're going to be for all the good things in life.